Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Audi of Wesley Chapel because guess what? We have it. This is a totally refreshed and updated 2020 A5 Sportback. But before we dive into this Sportback, let's talk a little bit about Audi and what their luxury sedans are all about. The way Audi rates the size of their vehicles in their lineup is all through a numerical system, very similar to a lot of the other German brands. So the way they do it is compact is going to be the A3. Then you work your way up 4. 5 is going to be smack dab in the center because you could go 6, 7, and their largest vehicle is the A8. For 2020, they decided to change a few things to the A5 Sportback, but also bring that same magic that makes the car so popular. And that one thing is that Sportback design. It looks like it has a trunk like any other luxury sedan, but it actually has a hatchback, a liftback design that actually some other brands have imitated and brought over to their particular models because not only of the functionality, but oh, does it look so good. But why don't we go ahead, let's dive into this new Audi A5, find out what's different for the Sportback. Right off the bat, you're gonna notice new bodywork, new fenders, front fascia, and total different headlight design. So we're still working with LED turn signals, LED headlights, and LED daytime running lamps. I have the hazards on to kind of showcase those LED turn signals there in the silver trim. Very, very unique design. You know, at first I wasn't digging it because of the amount of silver inside the housing, but now with this white especially, it really does bring a fresh look and help separate it from the rest of the luxury sedans out there. Now, as we drop down, you have a little bit of brushed aluminum on the all-new front fascia. I like the functional side air curtain. What I am gonna zonk is this massive fake vent here. Now, there's a little tiny opening where they have some airflow, I'm sure, for aerodynamic efficiency, but the rest of this is fake. I wish they would have just made it smooth. I think it would have just actually cleaned up the look of the car. Now, we come across the center section, all new grills. So we have new fenders, new front fascia, all new grille design. Still keeps that open grille look that Audi was really the one to bring to the forefront in the auto industry that so many other brands are copying now. But you have that bright chrome trim all the way around the perimeter. You have your 4 rings, that auto union, the 4 German brands coming together. A little bit of this smoke gloss black. I guess my only other zonk is gonna be what is up with this. They have this area where the hood does not come down to the top of the grille. There's actually this fake vent area, 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna give one major zonk across that. But I do like the way this lower lip extends and that silver trim goes all the way across from one side to the other. Now, when we get up onto the hood, nice prominent body lines in the center, stay raised pretty much the whole way to the windshield. And then check out how sharp the fold is right here on each corner. I love the way Audi does their body lines. They're very, very purposeful, but also very strong. And I think that helps with the brand. Fender treatment, same thing. Nice body line all the way around the fender, wheel and tire. Now this one has the optional 19-inch wheels. The standard wheel is gonna be an 18-inch wheel. This is an optional 19-inch wheel. You're looking at 255 on the width. And what's nice is you're gonna have that quattro system that's gonna keep all 4 corners of this car planted. Love the machined aluminum and the dark metallic. And then you have a flat silver 4-piston caliper. Very classy with the white on this Audi A5 Sportback. Now, when we go down the side, you can see we have a little bit of fender treatment here. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you. This black kind of looks a little cheap. I wish they would have done something just a little bit different. So I'm only gonna give it a half zonk because I kind of like the silver, but this gloss black, I'm not really feeling it right now. LEDs built into the turn signals, color match mirror caps. What I do love is this beautiful line that goes all the way across the bottom. Then you have the separate one and you have that nice sill area, which gives it that airflow very nicely down the side, but also gives it such a great look. Now this one's gonna have an oversized sunroof, sort of like a sunroof and a half. It's not a full panoramic. Now here's the weird thing. They paint up here black. What about this area back here? That's gonna be a zonk because you and I would both agree if this was all black, it would just blend in so much nicer and really pop well with the white. You do have a little bit of silver shiny chrome trim on the door handles. We keep working our way back, and what I love about the Sportback is that nice low sloping roof design. Look at the body line. Very, very strong all the way to the rear of the vehicle. And like I said, this is not a trunk. This whole thing is gonna lift up. All new taillights. So just like we started new at the front, we got a whole new taillight design. I love the way it kind of goes whoop, whoop. Nice flow to it. A5 badge, that Quattro badge. This has all been redesigned. Nice clear lower bumper area. And you have functional exhaust trim. So this trim, very tasteful, and you have an exhaust pipe on each side that I could clearly see that does work. Let's go ahead though. Let's pop the hood and see what's powering this A5. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts underneath the hood. This is the A5, not an S5, not an RS5, an A5. So what you're looking at is that inline-4 turbocharged engine. It's a 2-liter pumping out 248 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque. It's all routed through their 7-speed DCT transmission. The car will go 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds and weighs around 3,300 pounds. MPGs, 24 in the city, 32 on the highway. You know, it's got a very tasteful engine cover. I like seeing the 4 rings, of course, of the Audi brand. You can see the extra structural rigidity that they added by putting the bracing at the top of where the shock mounts are, all the way to the center of the firewall there. That's gonna help stiffen up the front end. Let's go ahead though, let's get to the interior and see what's new for 2020. All right guys, we're inside the 2020 Audi A5 Sportback. I know you're probably wondering, well Joe, so far I'm loving the changes on the exterior. Horsepower sounds good. What is the price of this? MSRP, the way that this one is optioned, even with those extra wheels, those different wheels that we have, you're looking at an MSRP of $53,000. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, door panel, I love the breakup of the black. So you're gonna have the beige with the darker material across the top. It's all soft. You have some silver trim, silver door handle, gloss black. What I'm not particularly in love with is that wood. Now, beauty's always in the eye of the beholder, but that wood, it would be sexier if it was darker, like a nice dark stained wood. You do have a pocket down there for a Big Mac and a nice Mountain Dew. And then this one does have the B&O optional sound system. Now, when you come to the dash, soft material, the wood trim, I mean, it's classy. It's just not my cup of tea, like my grandmother used to say all the time. Quattro badge, gonna remind you, you got that all-wheel drive capability. This is all new for 2020. So you're gonna get this beautiful 10.1-inch infotainment system screen. It's got your navigation. You could go into your vehicle functions very easily. We have the Audi Drive Select, because remember, we have adaptive dampers all 4 corners. I'm gonna go ahead and just put in dynamic mode. That's gonna make things a little bit sportier. We go back to home. The zonk is, I don't like the way it's stuck to the dash. I wish there was a better way to integrate this, or just not even have it at all, because the virtual cockpit on these Audis, second to none, and almost makes this whole thing obsolete. Let me go ahead and throw it in reverse real quick to show off our backup camera. So here we are out back. You got your trajectory, which is really nice. Of course, you got your sensory technology all the way around. I'll put it back in the park for us, and then you're gonna go ahead and we'll toggle down. You do have ventilated seats, which is nice, heated seats, dual climate control, of course. You drop down, we have our toggle switches. You could go through your different drive select modes, shut off that pesky auto start stop feature, shut off the traction control, or if you want to shut off the screen, you could actually shut off this whole screen, which is easy to do as well, just by holding that button down. Now, you do have the 12-volt USB, a nice place for your Slim Jims. Here's your start stop button. The wood trim, like I said, it's classy. I just wish it was darker, like a nice black stain. Now we're talking. Stitch work is beautiful. Little bit of gloss black, nothing too crazy. I wish there was a lid. They give you a nice little cup here for like breath mints and stuff, or Jolly Ranchers, maybe even Fireballs. Maybe you're feeling a little frisky. There's no lid. That would be nice. You do have the 2 cup holders as well. Here's your updated Audi key fob. Kind of plain, but you know, it's slim, it's light. There's the back of it. It's got a little bit of gloss black on the back. Radio knob for the audio system. This is going to control that 7-speed DCT. You got a little tiny container here for some toothpicks, so you can pick out things like jujubes and whatnot out of your teeth. And then the armrest is weird. It slides, but it does not close the whole area. Like you could go here, but it's still not closed. So I don't know how I feel about that. Write me a letter and I'll maybe give you an answer when I get your letter. Stitch work is great. You lift it up, and here's the great news is you have a wireless charging, another USB-C, and you have a place for some pencils. So if you like to collect pencils from your travels, put them in here. Seats, very classy. The piping is nice, the beautiful stitch work, the perforated center. You have manual hammies, but then of course you're gonna have all your electric controls on the side for your passenger and for you, the driver. There's that oversized sunroof. It's not a panoramic, it's oversized, it looks good. Come on over to the business end though. I wanna show you that virtual cockpit that I was bragging about. All right guys, business time. You do have 2 save memory settings, so if you need to share your Audi A5 with somebody, you guys can have your 2 separate settings. A little bit of silver trim down here. Here's all your seat controls, nicely done. Steering wheel, even though it's not flat bottom, it's not a race steering wheel, looks great. Nice and thin on the spokes. I like the thickness of the actual wheel. Super thin here, flat black on the buttons. You do have paddles on the back to go up and down the 7-speed. I wish they were made out of metal. This plastic is just getting ridiculous. It's a $53,000 car. I guess $53,000 is not a lot of money anymore. Back when I was a kid, it was a lot of money. But anyways, the dash, that's something that as a kid, I never even thought I would see in a car. Look at that, virtually beautiful. It really is beautiful. That's the virtual cockpit, 12.3 inches. Wow, that's big. You do have your tach, your speedometer, and watch this. You hit view, and then you could adjust that and get all your different readouts and whatnot. This is why I say that the infotainment system, make everything in the virtual cockpit. Take this, rip it off, and just throw it out the window. Tell your passenger to look out the window as the thing's bouncing down, because it's kind of pointless. I like that. It would look so clean. Agree with me. Do it now. But while you're agreeing, let's go ahead and check out the back seat and see how your passenger is going to like this A5 Sportback. All right, guys, back seat time. This is where your mind is going to be blown. You would think with that low, sexy roof line that's only painted half white, it would be tight back here. Negative Ghost Rider. You got plenty of headroom. I'm 6 feet tall. I feel cool as a cucumber. Nice backs. You do have those cheap cargo nets. I know some of you don't care, but I don't know, $53,000. This is what you're getting. I say zonk it. 2 AC vents back here, 2 USBs, and a 12 volt, which is really nice. I need to jack down that temperature. It's hot as heck today. Plenty of leg room. Feeling good back here. And then look, on top of that, you got a nice armrest. Now, the armrest is just as hard as that one, but the good news is you lift it up, you can put in your Skittles in here, none of the colors are gonna run off. Can you imagine having Skittles that have no color? That's like watching black and white TV. And then, of course, you're gonna have your cup holders, which to open those, it's a little weird. You go like that, and then you go like that. So there's your 2 cup holders, then you close them up. I don't know why they make these so complicated. It's a cup holder. Put it back. Let's get to the best part. Let's check under that hatch. All right, guys, time to check out really the key to the winning puzzle of this Audi Sportback. This is it. Look at all that room. This is room that's gonna rival the Q5 SUV. The seats do a 40-20-40 split, which is really nice. And then you got plenty of room in the back, and you have the great lines of the Audi A5. And look at that, they even got you covered for your emergency German Twinkies, those chocolate specific Twinkies. You could keep them right over there, and they're gonna stay in place. Close it, 1 press of the button, down she goes. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this new 2020 Audi A5 Sportback for a spin. All right, guys, we're leaving Audi of Wesley Chapel. We're in the 2020 A5 Sportback. Right away, I love the visibility out the windshield. It's got plenty of clear space. The A-pillars on the interior are just so small that Audi designs, and I love that because it just gives you great visibility. Out back, it's wonderful, just the same. You got good size side mirrors. Steering wheel is a little piece of heaven. They do great steering wheels in Audis. Love the virtual cockpit. What I'm not really loving a lot is the infotainment system. I know it's larger for 2020. I know it's got cleaner graphics and everything else. It's just, it literally looks like it's tacked on. Is it solid? Yeah, it's got a nice solid feel to it, but it just looks tacked on. So I'm gonna keep my zonk on that infotainment system. Everything else really does scream, hey, luxury. I'm luxurious. That's what it's screaming to me right now. The wood trim just makes me feel about 20 years older than what I am right now. And that, to me, just seems like a missed opportunity where you should be able to get this a different color. That would be something that would make sense. Ventilated seats though, 2 thumbs up. Heated seats are great. Never use them really in Florida, personally. But the virtual cockpit is my favorite. It's my favorite thing about this car, besides the steering wheel, from a driving standpoint. Of course, the all-wheel drive is gonna keep us planning. And that 7-speed DCT is a sweetheart of a gearbox. It shifts very, very well, even in full automatic mode. I do have it in dynamic mode, so that's gonna give us a little bit stiffer suspension setting. It's also gonna quicken the throttle response, the way that 7-speed behaves, and all that good stuff. But let's go ahead and do a little acceleration test real quick since nobody else is around. And I'm gonna go ahead on throttle. So that 2-liter, you know what? Not bad for an inline-4 turbocharged engine. You get off running, it's got a good sound inside the cabin. Nice smooth shifts. Brakes feel nice, and we're not talking about this being a performance model. It still has that performance heritage because it's an Audi. Audi really values how they take into consideration their engineering prowess over the years, and they really have brought it into this A7 Sportback very, very well. So here we go on this roundabout. Look at this. Very nice, super smooth, great feedback coming to the wheel. Obviously, I just have it in automatic mode. On the way back, we'll use the paddles. Going into this roundabout on the brakes. Look at this, very nice. Very balanced. Is there a bit of body roll? Sure, but that's to be expected because it is an A trim, not an S or an RS trim. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead, use the paddles, those small plastic paddles. I'm in 2nd gear on throttle, here we go. Nice smooth shifts, very quick. Once you hit the paddle, it actually shifts. You're not waiting on the brakes. Downshift, very nice blip from the throttle, the way the car does it. Look at this. Powering out of the turn, super smooth, very comfortable seats. No bolstering, so I am having to brace myself quite a bit with the dead pedal just because there's not a lot of bolstering in the seats, but still able to handle the twisty bits with these roundabouts very, very nicely. Let's hold the line a little bit through this one. I won't cross over the lane here. Nice, yeah, we come out of the turn, super smooth, super smooth. Let's get back to the seats. So the seats don't have much bolstering. I'm gonna put this back in automatic mode. Seats don't have a lot of bolstering, but what they do have is a lot of comfort. And being full electric assist, you can really get them to twist and bend to fit your particular body type. The bottoms are nice and wide, and you do have that hamstring extension, which is always nice, especially for people like myself with longer legs. But brakes feel good. Great balance and feedback to the steering wheel. Audi really has done their homework with that, as expected with that type of brand. And you know what? Your passengers in the back are gonna love you because the seating is great as well. Getting to the infotainment system is very easy. It's clear to see, very fast reacting. It gives a nice little click every time you make a selection. There's your navigation, nice and large. Would be nice if that was just gone, but it is what it is. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what the 2020 A5 Sportback is all about. We're gonna get back, here we are at Audi at Wesley Chapel, wrap this up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another wonderful day here at Audi at Wesley Chapel. I definitely got to thank Adam, Chris, and Mike getting us access to the newly refreshed and updated 2020 A5 Sportback. Is this the best luxury sedan, that mid-size sedan for the money? I think 100% yes, with the flexibility of having that Sportback space, but you also get the great lines of an Audi sedan and the wonderful driving dynamics that come with it. I think it's a home run, triple play, grand slam, all at the same time. But if it's cars like these that you want to keep seeing on Raised Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Radies Rise merch. Got to give it out to Big Guns McGee. He's loving these Audis. This is his favorite German brand. We're going to go get him a couple hot dogs right now with extra sauerkraut. So thank you, Tom, for your hard work. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.